So you're Goldar Maximus, huh? I hope you're a lot tougher than the last one we defeated.
Oh, I am. And I brought an army, too.
Army? That's not an army.
Huh? A power coin?
What's up, everybody? This is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are watching Ranger Wrap-Up. Isa!
We're going to be talking about Hasbro PulseCon. We're going to be talking about the Lightning Collection, talking about Dino Fury Cast. We just debuted a video that kind of confirms some of that. I am joined this week by Jezer Reyes and returning Daniel Jerome, Battlestar Galactica.
I'm glad to be here.
And yeah, I am Joe with the Illuminerdi, and we're going to be talking Power Rangers for a little bit of time. So thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. I don't know if it's so beautiful here in Los Angeles, but nevertheless, we are doing Power Ranger stuff. So congratulations to Liz for her 150th episode. Last night,
Yes!
Weekend review. It's a lot of fun, but we are going to be live. So we do have the Super Chat feature for all of you guys that remember the Super Chat feature on our old channel. We are, happy to have you guys here. So if you want to support the show, support what we do have that Super Chat feature. So without further ado, Daniel and Jezer, there's been a lot going on this week in Power Rangers.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I want to talk about... That's right. Let's talk about some Hasbro PulseCon news.
Oh, my God.
Because that's the latest we have going on. Hasbro PulseCon has announced that Andre Meadows is going to be hosting the Power Ranger contribution for the show. We are going to have a prehistoric announcement, which obviously sounds like this is going to tie into Power Rangers Dino Fury, which we can all expect. The Beast Morphers cast is going to be talking about their experience on the show. Guys, Hasbro PulseCon's right around the corner. Jezer, what do you think?
I bet you ain't gonna get shit. I mean...
Oh, yeah. You're already on the brand.
I'm
Jezer
sorry,
has
but listen. I mean, I don't know who's in charge of, the toy side, but they are just dropping the ball with it. And they're just releasing all these images and all this information about it. And, I don't know, I'm just not happy with the next wave that they're doing.
Sure. I mean, yeah, we're talking about the wave that they're going to be coming out with Hasbro PulseCon. Daniel, what are you excited about, though, for Hasbro PulseCon?
Honestly, they seem to be highlighting or spotlighting, Transformers and also some G.I. Joe stuff. We know that there's a lot of buzz concerning Snake Eyes, so that's kind of interesting. I mean, he's in the freaking poster for it. And then after that, we got Optimus on the other side. The one thing that I'm not seeing is Power Ranger stuff, and I want that to be at the forefront. But you already mentioned before that we're going to have a prehistoric type of announcement, and we all know, or at least we all think we know, what that is going to be. And with what we think, I'm very excited for that. So I want to see I want to see and show the world that we were right. Being honest.
Oh,
that's what I want.
This is the show that I kind of wanted to avoid. This exactly is kind of what I wanted to avoid. Because this is exactly how we get the reputation we get. Anyway, all you guys are in the chat. Flash, thank you so much. We got Robert Amaya from Zapata, Texas. Mikey Perez is in here. Isaiah Rodriguez, Thomas Franco, Metal Ryan Cluster, Fia Games 10. I loved it, by the way. There was this great tweet that happened on Monday or Tuesday where I just wrote a tweet that was like, hey, I just want to thank I wrote hashtag Power Rangers, and then I wrote maybe I don't want to blow up the fandom, and then I think I wrote something like thanks everybody for watching the Viewing Globe. And Thea Games was like, that's it? Like, that's all you got? Like, and it's like, wow, sometimes everyone can be so demanding, but we obviously did have news.
Can we talk about that day?
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second, because I feel like this is like, I don't want to derail us into talking about news and delivering good content, because this can turn south real quick. So I do want to talk about Hasbro PulseCon a little bit more. We do know that we have all of the Rangers that are going to be joining us, along with Colby and Leanna, who plays in Roxy.
Yeah.
Absent from that are Christina Ho and Cosmo. So, Jezer, what do you feel about that?
if it was a situation of, oh, we can't fly everybody in, we can't get everybody, to wherever they're doing this presentation, yeah, I'd understand you have to make some choices. But this is 100%, this is going to be like a live stream type thing where they're doing it through a Zoom call. I don't understand sending the Zoom call invite to 2 more people that are integral to the series as well.
Yeah, I think that they're just as part of the cast as anybody else, and it's a shame that they won't be there. And especially talking, I mean, you've talked to Christina multiple times. We've had her on our shows other times too. She's so awesome, and it feels like it's such a. I mean, it feels like I feel bad for Hasbro a little bit because I feel like they're missing out because this is somebody that actually did, both of them contributed so much to the show. Daniel, what's your take on this?
Honestly, I'm hoping it's more of an oversight. I hope it's not something that they're doing in spite of, or something like that. I want to trust and believe in Hasbro for a lot of things, so I want to trust and believe that this was simply an oversight, and even though that they aren't announced, they may be added to the call. I mean, it is a Zoom call. It's something that can happen in a matter of moments.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will be the change.
I was also listening to. She was recently on a podcast, and she seems like a strong ambassador for the brand. So you'd think that they'd want people like that to help promote the show and push the franchise further.
You can say the podcast name. It was No Pink Spandex. They did a great job with that interview, and I really appreciate them kind of doing a deep cut into that, because if you haven't checked it out, go check out No Pink Spandex. It's over on their platform right now, on their podcast and on their website. It's a great interview. We recommend, if you're a fan of Power Rangers just in general, it's a fantastic interview. Another fantastic interview is some of the ones that Jezer has been doing, these unmorphed interviews. And I know that you've gotten some of the casts from previous seasons on that. In those unmorphed interviews, Jezer, what are some of the more fascinating details that people can look forward to in that style of interview?
Getting to know the Rangers as people. I think a lot of things that we forget is that they're not just actors for Power Rangers, but they're actors, also trying to get work here in LA in a very saturated market. And like the one I did with Claire from Dino Charge, she's such a super talented person where she has so many different talents that I asked her, which one do you hold to a higher regard, and she couldn't really choose. And it just goes to show that some of these Rangers are so talented, and I'm excited to see or learn about the new cast coming up for Dino Fury.
I'm excited as well. In the chat, we'd love to get your thoughts. Do you wish that Christina Ho and is it Cosme? Cosme, do you hope that Christina and Cosme are there at Hasbro PulseCon? We want to get your comments.
Yeah.
And then
also
in the chat. Also,
for future Unmorph interviews, who do you guys want us to speak to? Who do you want to know more about? We'd love to get you guys' input on that.
We would. We absolutely would. Now, we want to move over. Speaking of No Pink Spandex and the Lightning Collection, they dropped a little bit of news this week, and today was not today, but this week in general has been really good at getting Power Ranger news leaks. And here's the thing, and I know that a lot of people are kind of divisive on this situation, but the way that I look at it is like this, is that if we waited for the brand to kind of announce everything, we'd be waiting for a long time, and I don't think that there would be necessarily as much buzz about Power Ranger news. But it's great to see outlets like No Pink Spandex, like us, like PowerRanger.com, which Toku Chris runs, Toku Nation. Some of these, and some of the influencers out there, like PR Collection, at Lightning Fig PR. Like, there are great news drops that are coming out, and I feel like we get the fans excited about things. Not just us, but everybody that's covering Power Ranger news gets fans really excited about things, and we do essentially what I feel sometimes the brand should be doing. But regardless, No Pink Spandex had some great stories, along with the collaboration that they did this week with Lightning Figs PR on Twitter. Let's talk about it, because there's a lot to unpack here, no pun intended, with the Lightning Collection. So there's a lot of cool things. Number one thing I want to talk about is these deluxe villain monster action figures, King Sphinx and Pumpkin pumpkin wrapper. Daniel, talk to me about that, and talk to me about the price point here, because it looks like we might be getting a little bit more coming in with those packages.
Well, from what we first heard, because we do know they're deluxe, which means, they're going to be larger than what we're usually accustomed to. But I think the first price point that was mentioned was it $29.99, Jezzer? Or $39.99? I'm sorry, I forgot.
I think around $29.99 for the deluxe villain packs. It's going to be a new line.
Yeah.
We have the Lightning Collection line, and then we're going to have they're going to start a villain line, which is pretty amazing, especially if it's going to be if it's going to be as articulated as our Lightning Collection.
Now, I mean, the thing that I'm really excited for is to see not only the articulation, but the sculpt itself. The one that a lot of people are really focusing on happens to be the pumpkin wrapper. Yeah. That one, the way it looks already on its own, the suit itself is something that's like, okay, there's a lot of detail that goes into it. Even when they did the pop figure, there was detail in that. So Hasbro can't let us down with this. We can't sit here and look for, like, there are going to be these mistakes and things that are left out. This is one that everyone is going to be looking for. Everyone's going to want to see, and everyone's going to pick apart. Mm-hmm. So if there's any problems with it, it'll be known almost instantaneously. But I'm hoping that they know this and they work on it. Now, King Sphinx, come on. Yeah. King Sphinx is legendary, man.
Is he though?
You don't remember, he is. You don't remember him on the cover of video games?
I do.
You don't remember him on lunch boxes? You don't remember him on the cereal boxes? Like, for what they pushed him out to be, he is legendary. He's iconic. People see it and they know where it's from and what it is. Even if they haven't watched the series in years. That's something.
I think they...
Now,
I think
as far as what he did in
the
show, now.
Go ahead. I think with King Sphinx, I think he was so popular in our minds is because I think that the brand at the time thought he was like a recurring villain, and they just kept pitching him as that. So like when you think of iconic Power Ranger villains, King Sphinx always comes to mind, even though he was only in one episode.
He's not only just in one episode, he doesn't do much in that episode. He's a cool-looking villain. I just recently watched that episode back just recently, and there's not a ton he does. However, the pumpkin wrapper is somebody that has a little bit of a resurgence, mainly through that Kyle Higgins run and his appearance on.
And did he get
Hyperforce.
A Funko Pop?
Really
recently?
put that. That's a pretty cool one. I really am excited about these villain packs.
Just to
I think it's really
put
cool.
that into perspective, as far as like, because there is a change in like height, like the versus what the Lightning Collection is. This is around the same height as what those figures are gonna be. So it's gonna look pretty cool. This is a Super Shredder from NECA. So it's going to be pretty cool having like these, different size figures to display with your Lightning Collection.
Another thing, too, is that if you are a fan of the Lightning Collection and you want your custom figures, I highly recommend checking out Toy Turd. He is providing some great custom figures. Right now, you can order Madam Woe. You can order... he has a few other villains up for sale. But also he has... I believe he does have Shell Shock for sale. He also has some Rangers up for sale. The Omega Rangers he has, and the Chrono Ranger from the Unworthy are some of the ones you can get right now. So if you're interested in having your own Rangers, your own custom Power Rangers, check out Toy Turd. Another one is also Tim Bree 3D. He 3D prints his Ranger figures. They are phenomenal. If you want to get those painted, he has a person for you there as well. In the chat, I want to welcome a lot of you guys that are joining us right now. Thomas Moyes, we got John Mario, we got David Osua Ansah, and we have Deoxy. What's up, Deoxy? It's good to see you, buddy.
It's crazy.
So yes,
I'm a fan of Deoxy. I just love to see it. Like, oh my God, he's watching me. I watch him.
I'm looking at
like,
Toy Turd stuff. He has a diorama for the Megazord, like what we had at Power MorphCon. $350.
Oh, yeah.
That's a steal. Looking at the detail on it.
Its detail's really good.
Right,
really
that's
good.
Where it's like it's amazing.
Because it's all handmade, and it takes
handmade. So essentially, what you're buying is you're buying artwork, and that's the way we look at it. So go check out Toy Turd. Here we are promoting everybody in Range Nation because we feel that together we are more. We should all rise up together. That's why Deoxy is a good buddy of ours, and we love watching his show. So please check him out and give him some subs.
Yeah.
Also, want to move into more of this Lightning Collection news. Also dropped by No Pink Spandex and Living Ranger Key. Living Ranger Key really helped out corroborate this story as well. Now we have the figures that have been announced for Wave 7. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Wave 7 figures. It looks like we're going to get MMPR green, MMPR white, a Zed Putty, and the fourth figure is escaping me right now.
It is
Chester,
the red Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder.
That's right. And there's been a lot of controversy on that figure because of the trim on the helmet paint, which I actually didn't notice.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, here's the thing, though. If you're a collector, you want to get what you pay for. So I completely understand that people that are collecting these and they want things to be accurate. Because essentially, look, if you're shelling out upwards of $20, for a figure, you want things to be accurate, and I understand that. So let's talk about this line for a second. Let's break it down.
All right. So which one do you want to start off with? You want to start off with MMPR white, where there's a lot of speculation on what it is?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
let's start off on the easy ones first, and let's talk about the Green Ranger, because for the most part, I think the Green Ranger is it's going to be the non-fighting spirit Green Ranger, so to be the regular helmet. You know what I mean? All the right stuff that's going to be on that figure. What do you guys think about that? You guys think that's pretty accurate?
But I think that they're going to get a new head sculpt for the civilian side.
For Tommy, you think he'll get a new head
maybe
sculpt?
like tied up ponytail or something, or mullet.
Well, he does have the mullet. Yeah, I mean that's definitely possible. The mullet's definitely, I could see that happening. Now let's move into the Zed Putty. One thing about these army builders is that they fly off the shelves so fast. It's so hard to find these army builders. I bought the 2-pack putty from Hasbro Pulse or whatever it was. They had to cancel my order because they ran out of it.
Really?
So I didn't end up getting that putty 2-pack. But let's talk about it. Are you guys army builders with your? I know Daniel, you're not really into Lightning Collection, but Jess, this is more so for you. Are you an army builder guy?
I actually have 3 putties now because I did get that duo pack. But looking back on it. It really depends. It really depends on like the quality of the army itself. Like I would, for my NECA and Ninja Turtle figures, I would buy a ton of foot soldiers, but I wouldn't buy a ton of putty patrols because it's not as detailed. They don't look as cool. It's pretty plain.
It's fascinating. Now, Daniel, I know you're not a collector of the Lightning Collection. However, with these Zed putties, they are pretty iconic. Have any of these figures yet kind of urged you to want to pick any of them up? Because I know that there was a little bit of time where you would go on toy hunts with me and I would pick up some of these figures.
Yeah, very true. Well, right now, you hit the nail on the head. Right now, when it comes to the Z putties, I'm like, yo, how can I not be interested in this? I mean, they were like really the first actual upgrade when it came to putties that was like, oh, this is different. This is new. This is great. And it's essentially almost like, original. So I was like, maybe I'll be interested in getting a Z Putty. I can, set it up and things like that. And when it comes to army building, that's where it really
Let's move on to a figure that is in this line. It looks like it's going to be like a re-release. MMPR White. Now, a lot of people threw out a couple of speculations. One, that it was going to be, or it could be, Delphine from the Alien Rangers. The second one is that it's possible that it could be Movie Tommy from '96 or whatever it was. So, what do you guys think?
I think it's going to be white MMPR, just a regular rehash, but probably they're going to re-release it with the new head sculpt that they released with, they just released a Tommy.
By the way, Daniel was on mute somehow. I don't know, but anyway, continue.
I think they're going to re-release it with the head sculpt from the Zeo.
Do you really? Because I saw a figure. Maybe it was a Green Ranger figure I saw though, and it looked like he had longer hair from another head sculpt. So who knows? Maybe we're obviously getting.
People are hoping for Delphine, and people are hoping for movie White Ranger. We're just gonna have to find out at PulseCon. So that's probably when they're gonna announce it.
Well, right now, as of right now, No Pink Spandex did say on Twitter, and this was corroborated by Living Ranger Key, that it seems like it's going to be MMPR White. So it's going to be a re-release, which there's two ways to look at that, right? If you missed it the first time around, great opportunity to pick it up. However, if you've already gotten it, I mean, this is like a win-win. If you've already gotten it, then you only got to get 3 figures in this wave if you want all 3 of those figures, if you're a hardcore collector like myself. Me personally, if it's MMPR White, I definitely am going to skip out because I already have MMPR White. I don't need another.
Exactly.
There's no point to it. So either way, if you're a collector, this is kind of good news because it makes you not have to buy another figure. But if you're starting to get into Lightning Collection, if you got into it a little bit late, it gives you a great chance to pick up that figure. So I think win-win for that announcement. I don't really have a problem with it at all. But I do want to – did we talk about the Dino Thunder Red?
No, not yet.
Let's get into Dino Thunder Red because this caused a swarm of controversy on Twitter earlier this week. And granted, I see a lot of the points and I see a lot of the counter arguments. Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about this figure.
So people are complaining about it being silver versus white. I mean, it's a really kind of hard picture to tell. It could be white. It might just be the lighting. We don't know. And with the recent Hasbro customer service thing happening where they're going to send you a rehash of the white Dino Thunderhead, I mean, if it gets to that point, it might be the same issue.
Hopefully, I mean, yes, it might be the same issue. Who knows? We shall see at Hasbro PulseCon. That is right around the corner. Are you guys excited for it, though?
If it's anything like First Friday and Power Rangers Day, in order to not be super disappointed, I'm not gonna expect much from it.
I mean, set your expectations low. I think that's what a lot of us did in Ranger Nation, especially on Power Ranger Day and Fan First Friday. With that being said, though, I feel like there's a little bit of missed opportunities that the franchise kind of overlooked. And the fandom is hard. Like, we have a lot of you guys in the chat right now that are passionate fans of this franchise, and we appreciate every single one of your supports. And we love doing this for you guys. So thank you so much. And we're fans ourselves, so let's not get that twisted. We are huge fans. We report on news, absolutely. But at the end of the day, some of the news we even report on, we don't like it. It just kind of happens the way it is. But that's pretty much what's going to be happening at Hasbro PulseCon. We know that we can expect some type of cast announcement. Also, one thing that kind of goes glaringly overlooked is that, again, even though we've already seen Season 2 of Beast Morphers, I mean, they're touting it as if it's new. And for the United States, I guess the United States market, I'm sure there's a ton of people that haven't seen it. So, this is going to be new for them. However, a lot of us already know what kind of happened. So, I mean, I can imagine us getting some kind of trailer for the team-up, but I feel like that team-up, the Dino team-up, is so far, like, it's already happened such a long time ago that you know what I mean? It's weird. It's just so weird that I can see that being like a big trailer, and it's going to be like, oh, but we've already seen this. But, well, I'm excited to see what they have planned and what they have in store, and I hope that there's a lot of emphasis on Power Rangers, but I'm sure that a lot of their other brands that do extremely well too are going to have a big spotlight, like Transformers, like Star Wars, maybe like Marvel Legends. G.I. Joe definitely is probably going to have a big showing at this. My Little Pony. So I'm just hoping Power Ranger fans and Ranger Nation show up to support our brand, and I think
Joe,
that's really
what worst case scenario. What if they don't announce? They just announce the toys and they don't announce the cast. What are the chances that they don't do it?
I think that they're going to announce the cast. Let's just say that. I don't think that there's any reason why they wouldn't announce the cast, especially now. I feel that like they should have probably have done this at Power Ranger Day, but now if they had this Hasbro PulseCon in the works, it makes sense to hold it off for this. But, I'm expecting a full-on cast announcement for this. Probably not for a gold that you just did, because I feel like you just made the announcement on our other video about the Gold Ranger. But, we'll get into that in a second. Now, again, I want to thank all of you guys for showing out for Ranger Nation. We appreciate it here at the Ranger Wrap-Up. We are live every Saturday at 12 in the afternoon Pacific. And usually now our schedule is going to change a little bit. So following this show normally is going to be Retro Ranger Wrap-Up. So Right now, they're doing the Power Rangers Lost Galaxy rewatch. And then after that, we're keeping it sci-fi all over again with our Star Trek show called The Riker Maneuver. We're also doing that in a retro watch through. We're doing a Star Trek Enterprise right now. Now, we do have a few of you guys in the chat that have questions. We'd love taking your questions, and I'm going to take some of them right now. So we have Flash. Joe, you know how there were some rumors of Power Rangers moving to Canada. You think if it can ever go back to that again? I think it can, but Canada's having a lot of problems right now with COVID. So right now, the safest place to keep Power Rangers is in New Zealand. And they are definitely probably going to be doing that 2-week quarantine with an American cast.
Can I add to that too? So
Yeah.
Canada and Toronto, where at least where they're filming a lot of the CW shows, they had to do a revamp of the whole format and how they do it. So I don't know how Power Rangers will do it, because if you're not on screen for that time, you aren't there, and everybody is quarantined to like a specific hotel, and everybody, like the way that Canada's doing, they're trying their freaking best to not have it spread, unlike here in the States, where we're still having gender reveals and burning down cities because people can't abide by the COVID shit. So Canada, production in Canada is really slowed down. And I was listening to a podcast about it, and they were saying like everything is just like maybe they have new regulations as far as what they do. So with Power Rangers, they shoot. I can't remember what they said, but they shoot a lot in a day. Now it's cut down at least in Toronto. It's cut down to half days because they're just trying to really be super safe. So I don't know if they'd ever bring Power Rangers to Toronto or anything like that.
Hey, I just saw that. I just realized. I don't know. I've been looking at you this whole time, and I just realized that you don't have a mustache anymore. When did that change happen?
I don't remember. I don't.
Was it during the Viewing Globe or after the?
It was before the Viewing Globe aired. So I had a mustache during the Viewing Globe, but I didn't have it when it was airing.
I love that. I mean, that's great. So yes, that is that part of news. Now, if you're a Tokusatsu fan, there is news for you too. Because Ultraman just came out with a comic book written by Kyle Higgins. Now, you may best remember Kyle Higgins from his Shattered Grid storyline and the Boom Studios Power Ranger comics. But he is doing a mini-series now for Marvel Comics called Ultraman. And to talk about it, we actually have Bryce West doing a review for you guys right.
How's it going, everybody? This is Bryce West here with the Illuminerdi, here to give you my review of The Rise of Ultraman from Marvel Comics. This is issue 1, and this is written by Kyle Higgins, the former lead writer on the Power Rangers comic book by Boom Studios. So this is definitely an interesting new direction that Kyle Higgins is going in, still in the sort of tokusatsu genre, but instead of doing more with Power Rangers, he is reimagining another tokusatsu show with Ultraman. Now, I'd be lying if I said that I was super familiar with the Ultraman franchise. Obviously, I know its roots, and I know that it was highly influential in creating the tokusatsu genre that we have today with Power Rangers and Kamen Rider, and of course, Ultraman is still running as well. But I haven't been able to fully get into the show yet, so I don't think it would be best for me to kind of go in depth into the story and give speculation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of look at this as someone who isn't really familiar with Ultraman, obviously, because I am not, and kind of look at it from there, because obviously this comic should probably be positioned to bring in new eyes to the franchise, as this is basically a completely different story from what I can tell. And so yeah, it starts off in 1966, where there was this UFO landing, and then there was this Ultraman figure, and then we go into current day 2020, where there's this organization, they deal with like different kaiju and stuff like that, and by the end of the issue, they once again are encountered with Ultraman. And so far, I'm definitely liking this sort of modern take with this. I think that this is definitely going to be an interesting story that will be able to bring in new fans to the franchise. Definitely Kyle Higgins is known for that so far because of his work on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers book at Boom Studios. He completely reimagined this old franchise, made it current for some new fans, and also something for the old fans to enjoy as well. So I'm liking the main characters so far. There's the dude who is obviously going to become Ultraman, and he has a female companion friend. I'm not really quite sure what the relationship is there. And then there's this higher up within the organization that they work with. So it seems like that this is probably going to be the trio of main characters that we're going to have here. And I'm definitely liking the dynamic between these three so far. So I'm excited to see how this relationship kind of builds throughout the remainder of the book. Overall, this first issue has definitely piqued my interest. I'm excited to see what Kyle Higgins has in store for the future of this book. And definitely let us know in the comments, what do you think of this book? Are you a new fan coming into Ultraman with this, and are you interested in it? Or if you're an old fan of Ultraman, what do you think of this new take on the Ultraman franchise? Definitely let us know, like I said, in the comments below. And remember, at the Illuminerdi, we're always watching.
Ultraman, and I'm excited because I got my Ultraman digital copy thanks to Orange Ranger Videos. He sent me his copy code, so I truly appreciate that, Orange Ranger Videos. Ranger Nation helping Ranger Nation. That's what it's all about, guys, because together we are more. Now, I do want to talk about something a little bit off the beaten path, because another promotion for a fellow person in Ranger Nation. Now, the Ranger Vault has been doing this killer music, and he's been releasing a little bit on his Instagram here and there, and he's given me a chance to listen to his full album. I will tell you this right now, I love it, and him and I are gonna talk more about it. But once he has more information about how he's gonna release everything, I think you guys are gonna love it. I really do. I think Orange Ranger, he's doing a great job too. But the Ranger Vault it's phenomenal work with some of his music, so it's quite amazing. And I'd love to use some of it here. Here at the Illuminerdi, because it's all royalty free because he created it. So, I urge you to go check out Ranger Vault. It's amazing. Now, the big piece of news this week has been this Dino Fury casting. Now, we're going to break it down. We're going to get into it. But I think, first and foremost, we're going to clear up some facts, and we're going to clear up some fiction, because I think this is the best way to do this. So, guys in the chat, thank you again for joining us. And we also want to urge you guys, please, if you're enjoying the show, share it out.
Did we lose him?
Share it on Facebook. We will definitely retweet you. We will definitely be going on with that. What's going on, guys? You good?
You cut out for a second.
Pause for a moment.
Oh, there you go. My internet's probably not the best, but there you go. Ranger Nation, we would love to get more people watching this show, so we appreciate you guys joining us on this Saturday. Now, we do have the cast. We can break it down. We do have separate videos breaking down who each actor is. We can talk about which Rangers they're floating around as being. That's something that we've been seeing going around too. We have a pretty good label on that. By the way, Daniel, are you coming to the studio at all today? Are you staying where you are?
I'm staying where I am. Should I go to the studio?
I just let you know. There's a little inside baseball. Brandon and Josh are coming, so if you want to hang out and pound some back. But anyway, let's talk about this. Now, we have this cast. Daniel, give me your initial thoughts, because you and I, we broke. So here, we're going to take this back a little bit. I know that I get really excited telling certain stories. Yeah. So here's how this broke down. We released the story at about 4:15. But just to break down a little bit of the timeline, the source who does... we got word that this was going to be the cast the night before. Mm-hmm. Upon inspecting, we were never going to release this story because we were told not to, and we respected that. So we just wanted to see who they were. Started diving into it a little bit. Bryce and myself couldn't find anything on the first night, but had a breakthrough on the second night. by figuring out who each actor was, including the Gold Ranger. I emailed Hasbro, our reps, at 9, I think it was like 9:08 in the morning, just catching up, just talking. Got an email back, I think it was like 9:16. It was like 8 minutes after. We were ready to run the story probably at 1:15 Pacific time. I sent Hasbro an email saying that, hey, I would like a comment on this story, or letting them know, hey, we're thinking about running it. I gave them 3 hours, and then nothing happened, so we just ran the story. Later on that day, it was interesting because Simon Bennett, who you guys may know is the new executive producer for Power Rangers, he was actually on Ranger Board searching through people's kind of reactions. And that was posted by Ranger Board. So it's fascinating how all this kind of came together and how it kind of got out. Now, I know a lot of people, we took a little backlash here a little bit on social media by saying that we released the social media accounts. We actually didn't. The social media accounts were never in our initial reporting, whether it be the video or article, very specifically because I told our writer, Bryce West, to remove their social media accounts from the article. That actually popped up elsewhere. So that was not us reporting on it. Now, I know that there's been a lot of backlash with fans saying that, leave the cast alone, don't bother them, whatever it may be. Two things about that. Number one is they're actors. So a part of that is having a social media presence. And an influx of followers isn't necessarily a bad thing for actors. Number two is that if you actually, I went back and looked at some of the comments that were in these actors' pictures or whatever. It's been pretty positive. Nobody seems to be harassing them. Ranger Nation's done a pretty good job. I felt like there's a lot of people that are saying, hey, don't do this. And a lot of people just didn't. So that was pretty cool on Ranger Nation's part. Thirdly, I should say, is, look, these people were bound to get these followers anyway, and it creates a buzz around the show. So all in all, it's a win for everybody. Now, the reason why I personally didn't say which color each Ranger was going to be is because I know how much things can change at the last minute. You guys remember Chance from the Ninja Steel season, how he didn't end up making it to the final iteration of that cast, even though he was announced at Morphicon. Things can change. And I feel like this is one of those things that can change. Now, I will say that there was a picture floating around that alluded to each person's color, and that's mostly where a lot of this is coming from. So let's take it for what it is. We have Russell up first, who is more than likely going to be our Orange Ranger. I don't know why I keep saying Orange Ranger. More than likely going to be our Red Ranger. What do you guys think about Russell Curry in being the Red Ranger?
Is he a Curry brother? Is he Seth or Steph's brother?
I've heard that comment probably more times than you would think, Jezzer.
Yeah. No. Not. I'm definitely excited for it. It's like, well, hey, I'm excited for Russell Curry. As far as being the Red Ranger, that's why I'm wearing, my Red Ranger shirt today. But he's an actor. He's a comedian. He's done a lot of things. He stays busy and does work. He was on, this one will be for Edward Sanchez, he was on Shan Boodram's online series. That's a deep cut, but she's also someone who I've worked under, so it's just like, oh my god, hey, there's a connection there, and that's dope. So I'm just happy to see that he is continuously working, and they thought it was probably best to pick someone who is versatile, and it's great to see him in possibly being the Red Ranger.
Yeah, let me preface this too, is that even though we saw the pictures that match up, we are not confirming on this show. We are doing our jobs and speculating on who we best think the cast is going to be based on the information we were given. Mm-hmm. So again, this is not a confirmation, and I want to make that perfectly clear.
Exactly.
Chester, what do you think about Russell Curry as being our Red Ranger?
I think it's dope. I think it's really cool. I think he looks the part. Definitely looks the part. I know a lot of people are who have auditioned, did it from what I saw from what they uploaded. I couldn't imagine them playing a certain Power Rangers. With this cast, they look like the type of actors and actresses that Hasbro and Saban have cast before. So it makes sense that this is our cast. I think out of all of them, I'm really excited to see what Russell has to bring to the table. Because, you know, in the past, we've had some dry Red Rangers.
Now let's talk about our Blue Ranger, who we're speculating to be our Blue Ranger, Kai Moya. Kai Moya resides, he's from Hawaii, but let's talk about it. What do you think about him being our Blue Ranger? Because I feel like if we get this kind of like, and granted, we can't really base it on some of the stuff that Kai's into personally, because it seems like he's pretty active into surfing and stuff like that. But him being our Blue Ranger, Daniel, what's your take on Kai?
He's got the look. And that's something that I will end up saying for everyone here. He definitely has the look. As far as also, I want to bring that whole thing about surfing into it. Physically, I mean, that's something that we need. We need a Ranger that looks like they'll be able to do the things that a Power Ranger would do. And I'm enjoying the fact that he's there. So I'm down for it. And representation. That is something that I'm just screaming with almost every person here. So, bravo. I'm in for it.
Now, arguably, probably the most well-known out of this cast is going to be our next Ranger, the Black Ranger Chance. Familiar people, some might be familiar with him from being on a boy band in real life. So let's talk about this one, because this is actually a pretty inspired choice. Chance, as a person, is a father himself, but also has seen levels of success that most Rangers don't necessarily experience unless you're talking about the 2017 movie, but most Rangers don't usually experience until after being on Power Rangers. So this one's a bit of a shakeup, which I do like. Jezzer, give me your take on Chance being our new Black Ranger, possibly our new Black Ranger.
Black Ranger. I think it's cool. I think that he brings his own fan base into this. People that have been following him while he was part of the boy band and after are probably looking for what he's going to do next. So I think it'd be cool to have him bring some extra eyes onto the brand. Kind of in a way, kind of like how Becky G did with the 2017 movie. So you know, and he's gonna have a lot of experience working with press and being in the limelight. So, because I know a lot of these other actors don't have too many credits on their IMDb's, but I'm sure he's gonna be ready to just take on that role, and he definitely looks the part, like Daniel says.
Why are you wearing those glasses? I
don't know, man. I like it. I like how it looks.
All right.
The future's bright, man.
Well, you do you, buddy. Now, our Pink Ranger, Hunter Deno. Now, I know that's a big Kamen Rider reference as well, but Hunter Deno is looking to be our new Pink Ranger. Daniel, what are your takes on Hunter, and what do you think she brings to the role? She's also, let me preface this a little bit too. Mm-hmm. She's a little bit older for being a Ranger, which I actually enjoy. I believe she's 25 years old, which is great because it seems like this cast looks a little bit more mature than the cast we had previously gotten. Now, nothing is wrong with the cast we had previously gotten, so I think that was a great story. But this aging up of the cast, I can be on board for. But talk to me about Hunter Deno possibly being our Pink Ranger, Daniel.
Well, with Hunter, again, here comes the look. And besides the look, I understand, is she also a model besides being an actress?
Seems like
it, yeah.
Yeah, and with that, it's like, okay, hey, one thing that she'll know how to do is work the camera. One thing she'll know how to do is make sure that you get that shot that pops. And when it comes to the Pink Ranger is usually a Ranger that, in some ways, is coveted. People look at her and say, I want to be her. Other people are like, oh, I wish she was my girlfriend. And it's like, that's a great kind of presence to be there or known for, and it's like, well, Hunter lands it, so I'm excited for that.
She was actually Haley Steinfeld's body double in Pitch Perfect.
Was she really?
There you
I
go.
don't know why you need a body double in Pitch Perfect, but okay.
Well, I mean, it's probably like a stand-in type
Yeah,
girl. That's pretty cool.
It can be anything.
That's actually really good information because it gives you kind of like an idea of what her size is. Because having those stand-ins need to be pretty exact to those actresses. So that's an interesting fact, Jez. There's a fun little fact there. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest things coming out of this is a gender-swapped Green Ranger. If I believe correctly, this is our first live-action American female Green Ranger. That's going to be played by Alexandria Nunez. Now, I love this choice personally. I love the gender swap. It reminds me of old school MMPR, some of those great that we had in the past. But the gender swap is much needed because I like Ranger teams that have female presence because it balances. The teams feel really balanced. You know what I mean? And look, I don't know if we'll get it this season. I know that it was spoken about in an interview with Seamus from Den of Geeks. He talked to executive producer Simon Bennett about possibly having LGBTQ representation on the show. Honestly, I think that would be extremely refreshing. But I do want to talk about Alexandria Nunez for a little bit because I think that it's such a great choice to gender swap the Green Ranger. Daniel, what are your takes on that?
I've been saying over and over and over, broken record. She's got the look, man. Who's not going to say that? Who's not going to say that about any of these people? But along with her, from what I understand, she's done a little bit of acting in some indie films as well, which is good. That's going to be kind of helpful when it comes to just having a base of what you need to do. So it means when it comes to directing her for shots, things like that, it won't be like an arduous kind of task. It will be, all right, this is your mark, this is what we need, this is what we get. She'll be able to hit that mark and give us what we're looking for. And as far as the gender swap goes, great. Congratulations and good on you if this is actually the route and direction they're taking. Bravo. And just with that alone, 2 females is also still a good thing. I said it before and I'll say it again, representation matters. You know, you can't grow up in a world and always look into a mirror and have no reflection back. That's what the television is. It's a black mirror. You look into that, and it's great to have a reflection of what you are looking back at you. It helps you to remind yourself that you exist in that world. And that's a great thing. So good on them. Great. I'm loving it.
Shezzer, what's your thoughts on this gender swap? Because most people seem pretty positive about the news. What are your thoughts? We hadn't really talked about this publicly.
I'm hopeful. You know why? Because on the Super Sentai side, the Green Ranger it's obvious that they're a male. So I'm hopeful because this means that for a lot of these shots, they're probably going to be shooting some new footage for that side if this is the direction they're going. And that's from the previous season, Beast Morphers, all of the like New Zealand shots were really awesome. So I'm pretty excited that they may be doing that. What do you guys think? Do you think they're gonna like put a skirt on her, or are they gonna kind of go the same way that they did with, I think it was like Wild Force Yellow and Mighty Morphin Yellow, where there's just the regular pantsuit?
I think it's going to be the regular suit. I don't think that they're going to necessarily need to change that. So I think it's going to be the regular suit.
I think it's going to be dope. I know someone has said...
Here's another thing. I'm looking in this chat right now, and I'm disappointed in some of these comments.
I am too. Thank you.
Which ones?
Thank you.
Well, just a couple. And I look, most of you guys are awesome, but we got Fire Drake Burst says no LGBT representation. That Thomas Franco followed that up saying, Fire Drake, I agree that sends a bad message to little kids who watch Power Rangers. Where I disagree. Because, look, representation is important, and it's the world we live in. If you guys don't like it, then you guys aren't accepting of the world we live in. I am perfectly happy with Rangers. Look, here's the one thing I can't really wrap my head around. It's like, it's okay for people to suspend disbelief that some Rangers are aliens or a humanoid dog or like whatever creature they may be, but it's too far because somebody's has a different sexual preference or a different gender. Like, I don't know. Sometimes to me, it's like, what? How is that a thing? But I don't know. That's just me personally. In terms of the skirt, I don't necessarily know it needs one. I don't think that every female Ranger needs a skirt just because they're a female. I think that I like having unique and dynamic costumes, suits for these Rangers. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I've been watching the latest season of The Boys, right? And they brought in this new character. I can't remember what her name is, but they were doing these junket interviews, and like they kept asking, "Oh, tell us how girls are better than guys. Tell us how girls are better than guys." And her answer was perfect. It's like, it doesn't matter if you're a chick or you got a dick. We're all doing the same shit. Like, we're all, just that perspective just really makes things puts things in the spotlight. It's like, oh, stop stop basing your opinions based off their gender and based off who the individual was. Yes, Stormfront is correct. Mike Perez. Oh no, Lawrence. Thank you. Stormfront.
Like, look, normally I wouldn't have addressed something like that, but I feel that, like, sometimes we just got to stand up for some of the things that we believe in. Regardless if we agree or not, we can at least have healthy discussions about it. Because, you know, I mean, opening up people's minds to other things is not necessarily a bad thing. So with the Green Ranger, we're all on board with the gender swap. I think that's really cool. And Jezer dropped some news on us just right before this show went on the air. Jezer, let's talk about the Gold Ranger Jordan Fight being a part of this cast as well. Possibly the Gold Ranger. Jezer, you wanna talk about it a little bit?
Possibly. Actually, so after we released the first bit of news for the original 5, just based off, you know, how people put everything together through Instagram and everything, they all kind of figured out also that Jordan Fife was in the mix somehow. So yeah, everybody's suspicions were correct. It is going to be Jordan Fife, which is going to be pretty cool because it is our first Black 6 Ranger. Let me think about that a lot. Cause
no, you're right. You're right, Jezer. You're right.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. That's really cool. And if you guys follow him on TikTok, I started following him on TikTok. He's actually really funny. So if he brings that comedic side to the Rangers, and they don't have to have that comedy duo, I think that'd be perfect.
Also, another cool thing about his casting is that they're getting a TikTok person that has a decent following on TikTok. So that really does usher in this new millennial age for Power Rangers. And I'm not even using that in a bad way because there's some great stuff coming out of TikTok. Daniel, I know that you're a big follower of TikTok. Chat me up. What does this mean for the franchise, and how is it moving in a positive direction with Jordan Fight?
Well, it's pretty much putting its hands into various cookie jars all at once. It's being able to connect with the millennial crowd and even younger, and bringing them into something that, hey, was pretty much made and geared towards them. And for some others, it's going to be that whole thing of, oh, nostalgia, but I'm getting to see something that's current as well. So it's going to connect a lot of people in multiple ways. I mean, Jezer is doing really well on TikTok now.
What are you talking about?
Hey, you do stuff that I'm enjoying. So I'm just saying, you're doing pretty well on it. But TikTok itself is a huge medium. And it's huge. It's so large that pretty much Instagram was like, okay, how do we crush TikTok? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, let's go ahead and create our own little Reels thing. And they tried, and TikTok is still stronger than ever. Reels is doing well, but it's not TikTok. And that's the phrase that people will continue to say. But seeing someone who is going to be there on it, I think they're going to try to integrate the idea of social media on the show. But it won't be called TikTok. It'll be called something else because, you don't want to pay these people for that. Yeah. That's a lot of money. So I think we'll start seeing an integration of that in Power Rangers. And I'm excited for that.
I'm actually, just because I've seen clips on Twitter of Ryu Soldier, because I started it early on, but I kind of fell off because just the whole process of watching it was a little hard, having to go to a website and then watch it there. But seeing clips on Twitter, like some of the fighting videos and all that, and the suits, they look amazing. So I'm super excited about this series.
Another thing that we want to speculate on and talk about is about the story, because there's different things and different directions this story can go. Now, I've heard, this isn't from an inside source or anything, but I've heard that it's possible that these actors might be playing Jason, Zach, Billy, Trini, Kimberly, and Tommy. So that's something that I find fascinating. I personally am not sure. I mean, I feel like they would be playing completely original characters, but who knows? This season also sets itself up very well for bringing back past Rangers as mentors, which is something we could be looking forward to. Now, something we don't know anything about yet is who the mentor of this season is going to be. We do know that they're searching for a couple of comedy characters, one being this character named Zorb, and another character. I forgot the name of that character, but that's on our website as well. So it's very interesting to see how this is all shaken out. Liz is in the chat. Welcome, Ranger Liz. Congratulations on your...
Congratulations.
It's an amazing accomplishment, amazing job. We were there for the stream last night. We loved hearing some of your stories from your childhood. But in terms of this story here, switching back to Dino Fury, it's going to be quite interesting with the direction that they want to take the actual story. Now, Jezer, you've been watching a little bit of the Super Sentai, and you're super excited, no pun intended, you're really excited to see this show get adapted. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. Just the power ups that they have, and like just the designs of the suits, they're kind of like weaning away from just the regular spandex, and they're going full on armor, and it just looks really cool because it kind of emulates a little bit of like how Kamen Rider is doing. Like with Kamen Rider suits, they look amazing. So it's gonna be cool to see that take place within the series, and it's just gonna be cool having that whole, if they're going to match up the storyline, that mentor storyline, because it just opens up so many like doors to bring previous Rangers back. It doesn't even have to be from MMPR. It doesn't have to be from Dino Thunder or Dino Charge. It could be like they could pick and choose from each one of those series. I mean, you could easily bring back people from Dino Charge because a lot of them are from New Zealand. So yeah, I'm just super excited about it.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool. I'm really excited about where the season's going. Hopefully, at Hasbro PulseCon right around the corner, we get a little bit more information on what to expect from Dino Fury. We're hoping that the Power Ranger news continues to churn out, because look, it's been a long time since I was really excited as a fan as much as I am now, and I feel like in this last month we've been getting so much Power Ranger content from great Power Ranger content creators, really moving that news forward. Now, shout out to No Pink Spandex and Ranger Liz, Range Command Power Hour, and a lot of these other, and Living Ranger Key, who've been dropping a lot of these stories, and Squall also, who's on Tokusatsu. Like, there's been a lot of cool stuff if you're into this community, whether it be Tokusatsu, Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, or Super Sentai. There's a ton of stuff out there for you. We highly recommend going out and seeking it. Also, Ranger Volt, his music, his Power Ranger inspired music is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Go please check him out. Also, if this video gets, how many likes do we want, guys?
Oh, damn. Let's get to 200 likes.
There.
I like it.
This video gets 200 likes. We're going to be giving this out. It is boxed up, ready to go. 200 likes. And also, we're going to say in the chat, or not in this chat feature, but in the comments, you have to use, let's give them a hash. You have to use the hashtag Ranger Wrap Up. That's all you got to write to be entered to win this bad boy. Whoever wins will be announcing it next week live here on the Ranger Wrap Up. We have a lot of stuff going on. Thank you so much for watching. I think it's a good place to close out, right, guys?
Perfect place.
I think so.
Perfect place to close out. But thank you guys so much for joining us this week. We appreciate it every single week. We're live here with the Ranger Wrap Up. Daniel has made his triumphant return to the show, and we are reunited again, guys. But thank you, Ranger Nation, for taking the time out on your Saturday, for tuning in to talk Power Rangers with us. Later on today, I know that we're going to be talking Riker Maneuver, so Star Trek fans, stay tuned. Are you guys doing the retro show today?
I think it's tomorrow.
Josh. I don't know.
We're probably going to do it tomorrow, and then, which we already deferred to, but next week we'll be changing up, and we'll be here on Saturday doing the Retro Ranger wrap-up. But this week, we're doing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, guys, there you go. So enjoy tomorrow's Retro Ranger wrap-up. Tomorrow also, if you're a wrestling fan, tune in. We got a lot to talk about there. But, guys, thank you so much for joining us. May the power protect you. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button and be notified every time we go live or every time we drop an exclusive, because I can tell you right now, Marvel fans, Monday, we got something coming for you. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Always watching.
So you're Goldar Maximus, huh? I hope you're a lot tougher than the last one we defeated.
Oh, I am. And I brought an army, too.
Army? That's not an army.
Huh?